As men, I think every man has the desire to grow, to become a man of status, to literally become their best selves. But we all know that to grow, or the prerequisite of growth, is discomfort. Delaying gratification will be the most important thing that you ever do as a man. And it is this concept that if you accept this concept that, you know what, I'm going to delay gratification for long-term satisfaction, you have no limits in this life. You can achieve anything. You can obtain the life that you want to obtain. Simply because you know that the hard work you put in today will benefit you long into the future. And I want you to realize that if you delay gratification, you will live a life of abundance, of joy. But if you seek instant gratification, you have no choice but to live a life of scarcity, a life of scavenging for resources. And I don't think anyone wants to live a life scavenging, a life of scarcity. Everyone wants abundance in their life. Since you want abundance, you're going to have to delay gratification. My question to you is, how much comfort are you willing to sacrifice for your future self? Because that's all delayed gratification is. You're sacrificing comfort for your future self. So how much comfort are you willing to sacrifice for your future self? And I haven't come far. Like personally, I have not come very far. But I'm so grateful for my younger self for sacrificing his comfort for my benefit. Like my life hasn't, actually it has improved quite a bit. But despite the fact that I'm not where I want to be, I am still so incredibly grateful for my younger self. And in fact, this morning, where is my journal? This morning, which journal did I write it in? Oh yeah, I wrote it in my actual journal. This morning, I was writing in my journal. I'm gonna read it to you. This is quite awkward. The date is the 27th of September, 2022. Heading delayed gratification. All the work I've put in is starting to come to the surface. I delayed gratification for long-term satisfaction. And right now, I'm definitely feeling satisfied. I'm so grateful that my younger self put in the work despite not being able to see the results himself. My younger self is a top G, and I'm so proud of him. He stopped working at his parents' shop knowing that he'd have less money to spend. He would have less money than all of his friends, and he wouldn't be able to go out as much as them. Despite all of this, he chose the uncountable path in favor of long-term growth. I thank you, younger Takura. You honestly deserve all the praise. The younger version of myself, I like to revert to him as younger Takura. He sacrificed so much comfort. He would be waking up at 5 a.m. He honestly did so much. And now I am reaping the rewards of my younger version. And I say this with the most satisfaction, that I've never loved or respected myself as much as I do now. And for anyone that's suffering from self-confidence, self-esteem issues, the way to improve your self-image is simply to delay gratification, to work for your future self so that he can live a better life, so that he can reap the rewards of the seeds that you've sown now. Because I don't know how to explain this. I'm so grateful and so content with all the work that I've put in. I'm genuinely so grateful for the younger version of myself. Because as you heard in that story, I was working at my parents' place and it wasn't ideal. I would spend the whole day there and there was really no growth for me. So I quit that job, knowing that I'd have less money than all of my friends, knowing that I wouldn't be able to go out as much as them since I have no money. And I prioritized long-term growth, reading books, starting this YouTube channel. I prioritized all of that over like instant gratification of having money and being able to go out with my friends and do things. The rewards that I've received and experiencing and the improvement is so much better than, I assume it's better than the money that I would have had. I think I'd have a few $1,000s more right now. But that money is not worth the improvement. I think I've read, and I say this with pride in fact, that I've read more than, in fact, any of my friends. I spend hours a day reading. Obviously not every day, but on average, I'll say on average I read about a book every 2 weeks. I don't know any of my friends who have been doing that. I don't know anyone in my circle who has been doing that. And I don't even say that to make myself feel good. But it's like the intellect, the knowledge that I've gained, the lessons that I've learned from all the books that I've read, it's priceless. This is because I delayed gratification for long-term satisfaction. Months ago, about 6 months ago, I started trying to meditate and I could not meditate for 30 seconds. But then the younger version of myself, he delayed gratification. He did the hard work, especially when he didn't want to. And now I've gone from not being able to meditate to now meditating for 15 minutes every day. And that's just timed. I probably spend 30 minutes meditating, but the other 15 minutes won't be like using an app. I'll just be sitting and decide to meditate. Like people say, don't improve yourself for women, but I'll be the first to admit that I improve myself because I want women. The attention that I'm receiving now, compared to like this time last year, because I've been in a relationship, I'm recently out of one, so I wasn't really paying attention to the attention I would receive. But yeah, the attention that I'm receiving now, the looks that I'm getting, it wasn't like this a year ago. And fair enough, I've gotten a bit of facial hair, but the reason I've gotten that facial hair is because I've taken more responsibility for my life. And because I've taken responsibility, that responsibility has manifested itself into the physical equivalent of me starting to grow facial hair. And fair enough, it's very patchy, but this time next year, best believe it will be a full beard. My physique. In fact, I'm going to show you pictures. Beginning of the year, I was skinny. I still am skinny, but I've gotten much stronger and I have made so much gains. I've gained like 4 kgs this year. When I look at my progress pictures, when I look at the first video that I took this year, it's going to be up on screen. It's uncomfortable for me to show this, but I'm going to show this for the sake of authenticity. When I look at these things, when I look at the first video that's showing right now, or that has been showing, and I now look at the new one, the most recent progress video that I've taken, I can't help but smile and be so grateful for all the delayed gratification. And what's beautiful is that younger Takura, he was working and he never got to see those rewards. That version of me that was there 6 months ago, who started working, 9 months ago, who was working out, doesn't exist anymore. He never got to see the body that I have now. There is a new version of me. I am a different person because of all the work that he put in. And this YouTube channel, I've said this many times, I was scared to speak. I was scared to speak to a group of 11 people. Now I'm making videos for the world to see. Making videos where I can inspire young men to be better. To share the lessons that I've learned. And this was uncomfortable. My very first YouTube video, you can go and watch it. I was sweating. Like I was wearing this jersey and I was sweating. I was so nervous. It was so uncomfortable to make that. And now I'm certainly not the best speaker. But I know for a fact that my speaking ability has improved. And all of this is because I delayed gratification. And my overall confidence has skyrocketed. And I say this with complete confidence that all of my improvement, all of my growth has come from me delaying gratification. And all your growth will come from you delaying gratification. So I want you to know that you've probably experienced growth, you've probably experienced some improvement. I want you to know that it doesn't stop here. You have to carry on going and you have to sacrifice comfort for your future self. And there's this thing that I did this morning, and I actually want you to do the same. Write a letter to your future self telling him that you're delaying gratification for him. And I'm actually going to read you mine. To older Takura. Perhaps you may never read this, but I want you to know that I love you. I want you to have all the rewards you could possibly have. I will put in the work. I'll delay gratification so that you can enjoy more of life. I'll work so that more women are attracted to you. I'll work so that you have a higher income. I'll work so that you are one step closer to obtaining freedom. I will sacrifice my comfort for you. And when I was writing this, I wrote it with a smile on my face. Because I saw the true beauty of delaying gratification. Because when you write a letter to your older self, it's like your older self is a different person. You're doing these things for a different person, a person that you love. And it's much easier to work for someone that you love than working for yourself. So even though you're working for yourself, it's like you're working for a different person. And quite frankly, the older version of yourself is a different person. So I want you to do the same. I want you to write a letter to your future self, telling him about all the work you're putting in and telling him that you are doing all of it so that he can have a better life. So to end the video, I'll ask you one more time. How much comfort are you willing to sacrifice for your future self?